Rail freight keeps Australia moving. It's safe, sustainable, and one of the most efficient ways to get goods across our vast country.
As cities become bigger and denser, the role of rail becomes increasingly important. If we want livable cities and to ease congestion on the roads, we need to support more freight on rail.
GrainCorp as a business is all about volume. We move 9 million tonnes. It can get up to the vicinity of 12 to 14. Rail is a good percentage of that. It's easy, it's efficient. From a carbon and environmental perspective, it's beneficial, and we would like to do a lot more. Unfortunately, just some of the inefficiencies and complexities that come along challenge our ability to do that at times.
A major issue is that Australia's 18 networks operate under 12 different safe working rulebooks with different technologies and practices. As most freight journeys cross several networks, these differences make rail less competitive and put extra burden on workers who must be trained and tested in the rules of every network they operate on.
Over 43% of rail industry participants are competent in more than 2 networks, which means that they have to manage and understand, maintain competency in the ways of working and protocols of at least 2 different networks.
This affects safety and training costs and makes it difficult for operators to respond to the peaks and troughs of demand.
Our train crew can't just be deployed anywhere on the rail network like a truck can. They are limited to their areas of knowledge and expertise. One of the limitations is that when there is opportunistic demand for our customers who have an opportunity to reach into a new market or move a product on a spot market, we are sometimes constrained by our ability to deploy crews to meet that customer's needs.
When customers miss out on peak prices, Australia is missing out on money that would otherwise be going into the national economy. To make things simpler, the NTC is working with governments and industry towards common rules. This will apply to networks connecting Australia's major ports, regions and passenger terminals.
By harmonising the differences in the ways of working and rules impacting operators across the country, we can expect to see a real boost in productivity. It will mean that we can be more flexible and reliable in the delivery of services to meet the needs of freight customers.
Through the National Network Rules project, we've identified the biggest pain points for rail operators and the first set of rules for standardisation. To support these rules, the project is also standardising hand signals, personal protective equipment and a glossary of rail terms. We're building on the experience of the Australian Rail Track Corporation, which joined 3 state networks together and began unifying their rulebooks through its National Safe Working Rule Framework.
You need to look at it from an evolution perspective and move bit by bit towards that national outcome. One of the first areas where we'll look to use the National Safe Working Framework is on the Nullarbor plain section of our network where we're actually upgrading the current safe working system. Then we'll move on to look at other opportunities linked to other infrastructure investment.
Common rules enable rail to compete more readily with roads. It gives us the ability to be more agile and flexible to meet the needs of customers.
There is at least 40% loss of volume out of rail. That harmonisation in some way or form could narrow the gap that would allow significantly more freight to move on rail.
Just a 10% mode shift from road to rail would achieve a $700 million annual saving for the community across health, social and accident costs.
To find out more about the National Network Rules project, visit our website.